Everyday modern Arab makeup look. This is one of my favorite tutorials because this enhances the Arab undertones very well. So I'm first starting off with the IT Cosmetics moisturizer. Now this is going to hydrate and give me that glow that I need. My skin has been so sensitive lately because I've been using active ingredients like retinol, so it's dry and sensitive. This helps to hydrate and soothe and prime before my makeup. I'm using a setting spray, and I know this sounds counterintuitive, but it blurs my pores so well right before I apply my foundation. I want to blur and smooth out my skin, and I'm using the Lawless Forget the Filler foundation. This is a weightless full coverage foundation. I'm using just one layer for more of a second skin finish. I know when we think of Arab makeup, we think of like heavy full coverage. However, using one layer and then airing it out with a fan looks like skin. And then I add another layer of the setting spray to ensure that it's glowy and healthy looking. Most Arabs have dark circles. However, I've been blessed to not really have dark circles, but if you do, this is the concealer for you. For everyday wearable makeup, one layer of this concealer is perfect. One thing that I'm going to always enhance is my brows. The Arab signature look is the brows. We have the thick, straight brows. I do have a tiny bit of an arch. I try to make them as straight as possible. However, I like enhancing them with a brow powder and a brow gel to stick them in place. Now for my eyes, I don't want to add too much makeup. However, I do want to enhance. And I'm using a light eyeshadow powder as my eyeliner and then adding a liquid liner on top and then accentuating the inner corner of my eye to give it more of a feline cat eye. I would say the most important Arab features are eyes and brows. So if you got them, enhance them. Brightening my under eyes with the Mercier brightening powder. This is great for those of us who have dark circles and also just want more of a lightweight formula without caking. Nothing about this tutorial is going to cake, I promise you guys. It's just going to be fresh, glowy, youthful, and healthy looking. I personally like to wear only mascara. You could do the single lashes. However, I'm using the PRADASCOPE lashes and I'm only accentuating the outer part of my eyes to add to that feline look. It also helps to elongate the width of the eyes really well. The difference is amazing. I love to put only mascara on the outer portion of my eyes. Plus, this applicator gives me so much control of the product. Whenever I add a peach blush on my skin, my undertones light up, and I feel like this is like the best hue for Mediterranean features, especially if you have like olive, warm skin tones. I typically don't like to add contour when it comes to everyday wearable makeup. It also makes my face look a little too gaunt for my liking. However, if you decide to, I would say go for something warm. And then for my lip liner, I like to have more of like a rosy pink. If I add a little too much, it starts to look a little red, so I'm going to diffuse that with my finger. I like to enhance the center of my lips really well. That's why I'm overlining that area more so, and then I'm keeping everything on my natural lip line. So because the weather is warmer, I'm using this YSL bronze pink shade on my lips. The more hydration, the better. It also makes my lips look luscious. I know I don't show it in this tutorial, but I do pat that gloss down a tiny bit to remove some shine. I literally almost forgot to add some liner, and I like to focus that liner only on the outer portion of the eye. This adds to that feline look. This tutorial is honestly good for anybody who has warm undertones, Arab features. I feel like many countries around the Mediterranean Sea, I noticed that we all have the same gene pool, so this video will work for you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!